President Trump on Wednesday announced sweeping tariffs on imports from nearly every country in the world. A move that, combined with the existing tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada, is expected to drive up costs for so many things for North Carolina consumers and small businesses. Because remember, a tariff is a tax, but it's not a tax borne by the country that exports the goods. It is a tax on the companies that import them. And when a company's costs go up, they increase the prices they charge for those goods. And that means that because consumers pay those higher prices, they are the ones who are ultimately going to pay the price of the tariff. A few hours before Trump announced the details of his new tariffs, North Carolina brewers, farmers, and other small business owners held a press conference in Asheville to warn about what those higher costs would mean for their businesses, many of which are still struggling after Hurricane Helene.
Tariffs would be yet another blow that could push small farms to close their doors.
So what costs will go up for consumers? Well, lots of your groceries. We're talking avocados, blueberries, tomatoes, cucumbers, bananas, you name it. And also new cars, repairs to your current car, buying a new house or renovating an old one, electronics, backpacks, shoes, most of the clothing you wear. Some assessments show that just the tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China could cost the average U.S. household $2,000 a year. And this seltzer was made in Austin, Texas. Great. But the aluminum wasn't. Most of the aluminum that companies use in the U.S. come from other countries. So that means this can of seltzer could go up.
The U.S. can't simply pivot to making aluminum cans. Mining is not done here. Aluminum is 96% brought in from other countries.
And the rationale from the Trump administration for these tariffs is to encourage more production in the U.S. So tariffs on foreign cars, for example, will mean that manufacturers build more plants in the U.S. But even if that is the ultimate effect, it's way down the road. Manufacturers don't just spring up overnight like weeds, and cars don't just magically start rolling off assembly lines that are years away from being built.
It's based on the idea that we can just start manufacturing everything here overnight, and that's not how a free trade market existed in the first place. So to think of the idea of being able to switch to that overnight is not a very plausible thing.
These increased costs, however, are likely to be immediate. And once prices go up, it's just hard to get them to come down again, short of a major financial calamity like a recession or a depression. All these costs, it has to be noted, will be going up as the Trump administration cuts or eliminates entirely federal financial assistance. Just this week, all federal employees of a program to help low-income families pay their heating bills were laid off. Funding for food banks and children's lunches likewise gone or slashed, showing that while the tariffs will hit all of North Carolina hard, the biggest damage will come on the backs of rural communities, many of which voted for Trump and believed his promises to bring prices down.